So I went onto the Kosas website because I really wanted to try the concealer. I went to my local Sephora. They were sold out of anything that could have possibly been my shade. So I really didn't feel comfortable picking out a shade online. And then I saw the option to get this box full of samples. So the way it works is you pay $35, you get a bunch of different samples, and then when you pick out what you want and what you don't want and what works and what doesn't, you have a $35 credit to then go spend on the site. So it's not like you're paying $35 for the samples, you're paying $35 and you're just committing that in the future you will buy a product. Also, this box is free shipping, which is really nice. The only thing that bothers me is that for the site in general, you do have to spend $40 for free shipping. But even so, I think this is a great idea because I typically like to order everything online, especially these days, and I don't have a Sephora particularly close to me. So I can't get Kosas unless I drive like 40 minutes away. So I think that this is a really, really great way to cut down on waste as well, because you can try out any shade that could possibly fit you, and then you can order the full size instead of ordering the full size, it not working, sending it back, and then redoing it over and over again until you find the correct shade. I'm gonna go through all the products you get, all the caveats, and then try them all out and tell you what I think. So you get a card of the concealer, which is their really famous revealer concealer. Everyone talks about this all over the place. You get tester samples of the Wet Lip Oil Gloss, Juicy and Plumping. You also get the tinted face oil. So they have kind of like two different foundations. This is more of the skin tint, not the recent more foundation that they came out with. This one's like the actual oil, which to me sounds much more interesting than the other foundation because I have other foundations that are similar. I don't have any type of oil foundation, skin tint, anything. You get this mini of the Kosas Sport Serene Clean Chemistry AHA Serum Deodorant. So I'll definitely have to try that out and let you know how it works. I don't think I'm going to do that in this video. I'm going to do all the makeup products, but I will let you know at a future date if you're interested about this deodorant. It says it's a bestseller, so I don't know. Then you get the Air Brow. So first off, you get a ton of different shades, which is awesome. To me, again, this is awesome because I can try out all these different shades and know exactly what shade looks best on me. You also get this little card of the Sun Show Moisturizing Baked Bronzer. I hope that's enough, but I'll probably use this one. If I have to, I would use that one too if there's not enough. This is the only thing so far I'm like, oh, that's not a lot. We're just gonna keep going here because you get a lot in this box. You also get to try the Weightless Lip Color, and I feel like that's a lot of shades to choose from, so that's exciting. You also get the Color and Light Cream Blush and Highlighter Duo. I mean, cream products, cream blush and highlighter and bronzers are everything now. Like, people are going crazy for them, so this is definitely helpful. And the last product is Longwear Volumizing and Lash Care Mascara. I'll always take a mascara, so I'm always excited to try a new one. And it does come in this cute box, and it tells you everything that you need to know about the products. It even says, you know, don't forget about your site credit. It says start here, then use this, then use this. I think this is really cool and really helpful, and I'm shocked that no other brand has thought of this before. Let's get started actually using the products. I'm going to follow the box. So it says to do the concealer, the face oil, and the bronzer first. Let's do the concealer first, and let me see which one I think will match me the best. I'm gonna go with this one. It is 3.5W. This is why this card is so helpful, because I really could go with a lot of different options. So let's start there. I'll do some swatches of the ones around it as well, and we'll see what looks best. I'm just gonna dip my finger in. I mean, I don't think the shade is bad. I do think it's a little bit yellow for me though. So let me try one that is possibly cooler toned. Let me go in with 3.20. I'm assuming the N stands for neutral, but what does the O and the W stand for? All right, there is 3.5W swatched on the back of my wrist. I'll swatch all the ones that I end up trying. This one is 3.20. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, I like that one better. I think it's more neutral. So there is 3.0. Let's do 4N just to see. Going on this side with that one. I think that one's too yellow for me as well. There is 4N. So far, I'm liking this one the best, although I do think it is a little bit light, but this is the 3.2 one. 4.5N. See, this is amazing. I can just try all of these concealers, and then once I find my shade, actually purchase and order that one. This is amazing. All right, let me do that one. Okay, that one's better than this one for sure, but this is still my favorite one, I think. There is 4.5N, and then we have 5W and 5O. I think that these are gonna be too dark, but I'm gonna just show you anyway so that you can see the different colors. This one is gonna be 5.50. Yep, yellow, too yellow for my liking. There it is swatched though, that is 5.50. And then last one, this is 5W, too yellow. It's less yellow, but I still think it's too yellow. This is 5.50, this one is 5W. Why not? Let me just try 3W and 2.5C. 2.5C. This one actually looks very promising. Yeah, that one's nice. It's a little bit light, but it's nice. 2.5C swatch, so you can see it is significantly lighter than the ones down here especially. Let's do 3W, which is probably the more warm toned one and probably won't work, but I have it, so why not try it, right? Here we go. Yeah, this one's definitely more yellow, not as yellow as the other ones, but it's definitely the yellower one. So here is that one swatched, and here are all the shades. Let me wipe this off, and I'm gonna go in first with the middle-most cool tone shade, or more so neutral shade, that they have, and start there. And if I need it to be darker or brighter, I can add those other two that I liked. I'm gonna start with 4N, and we'll see how it goes. This is what I'm going with for now, and I'm gonna just try to do it with my finger. I do have a dampened sponge here, but I'm hoping that I won't need it. All right, that might be a little bit too yellow. Let me see if I layer the 4.5N on top of it. I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit before I tap it out so I can get the most amount of coverage possible, because I absolutely need it. I have such dark under eyes, but this is supposed to give medium coverage, so it's not gonna be like a full opaque beat or anything. All right, I'm gonna blend this out with my finger. A little bit does go a long way. I don't think I needed to put on that much, but I did. So that's fine. It's like a very thin, almost oily like consistency. So it's not goopy or thick. It's very, very lightweight. I'm just gonna drag that down and around my face because I very clearly used too much, which is fine, but I don't wanna wipe off the product and waste it. So I'm just gonna keep blending. I do think that that shade was a little bit too yellow for me. I feel like even their neutral shades are a little bit yellow. Before I go on with another layer, actually, I'm gonna pat it in with a sponge and see what happens and see if I lose a ton of the coverage, because I do like to apply my concealer with a sponge. I feel like if I apply it in the inner corner with my finger, it looks really creepy. It did take away some of the coverage, but it actually looks really, really nice. It's like a super dewy concealer, oily in a good way, but it's not the most full coverage. Let me go in with a cooler shade though. I'm gonna go in with 2.5C, which I thought was a little bit light, but now that I blended the other colors out, I think it might actually be pretty perfect. And I don't find myself to be a cool tone girl. I think that these shades just run a little bit warm. I also want to put some concealer around my smile lines and my upper lip and my chin, just because I feel like I need a little bit of extra coverage there. I don't know that the skin tint will really do that much for me. But again, I'm gonna let that sit and dry down a little bit, and I will be back to blend it out. Time to blend. All right, so under my eyes, I tapped it out with my finger. Now with the rest of my face, I'm going to blend it in with the sponge. It is very dewy. If you don't want dewy under eyes, this won't be for you. I think that this could be a really great layering concealer because I have super dry under eyes, and typically the more full coverage concealers are very, very drying. However, I also have the darkest circles under my eyes. So I would actually want to try layering this one and see how that reacts, because this is very dewy. Like you can see, it's almost like a natural highlighter. Interesting finish, not in a bad or a good way, just interesting. Yeah, I think I like 2.5C the best. I think 3.20 could work, but I think I just like the 2.5C because it's actually cooler toned. All right, now let's go into the face oil. I'm not using any primer, by the way. So maybe, what do we think? You don't get much of this, which I think might be a problem because I don't know if it's gonna cover my whole face. But there is number 4. I think that's a little yellow for my liking. Let's go to 3.5. These don't have the undertone names on them like the concealer did, but 3.5 definitely looks more cool toned. Yeah, that one is definitely more cool toned. However, I think that that is too light for me. So I'm gonna do 5 on the other side and see. This is way too like orangey yellow for me. Let's just try out 5.5. Why not? This is also a tint, it's not full coverage, so I shouldn't have to have an exact shade match. 5.5. I'd probably go with 5.5. You really don't get a lot in here, so it's hard to really see the color fully on your face, but I would go with 5.5. It's just blending into the skin the best. There's no like obvious difference, and I think that that means it matches my skin pretty well. At least in the tinted face oil, I would say I am definitely 5.5 right now. I wish you got more of this though, just because you really don't get much at all, and I feel like I didn't even get to blend it in on my face, and I don't know really the finish or the consistency of it because it was such a small amount. I don't feel like I actually tested it at all. I do have a bunch of concealers left, so I'm gonna take darkest one, which was 5.50. Kind of just use this all over the face because this is actually really, really dewy and really creamy and gives me more of a face oil foundation vibe anyways. Of course, I got it right in my hair. Why do I always do that? I'm always like, oh, let me go right in my hair with foundation. Why? Why do I do that? I don't know. You use a lot less concealer than you use of whatever your base product for your face is. However, they give you like 1/10 of the amount of product. I am noticing that I can see like fingerprints almost on my face. So I do feel like I need to go in and blend this both under the eye and on the face. This concealer is not setting at all. So I'll like go like this and then I'll have a huge fingerprint. If you don't want your concealer to move all day, you might have to set this with a powder, which will probably take down the dewiness anyways. Next, it said to do bronzer. So I'm gonna go in with this middle color, which is medium golden bronze. There's, again, not a lot in here though, so I don't know how this is really gonna go. Like I went like this with my brush and it's completely gone. So I'm just gonna go lightly on this side and this side. I mean, it looks really, really pretty, but I go for more bronzer typically. Let me try the deepest one, and I'm just gonna go really, really light because it's definitely too deep for me, but I need more bronzer. And I'll go down here as well. It is a really pretty bronzer though. I don't know that I would buy it now because I'm trying to pan my Physicians Formula bronzer, but what's nice about this bronzer is it's very dewy. So I have on the dewy concealer, I have on the dewy base, and I don't feel any less dewy than I did before when I put on a powder. Usually when you put on a powder, you lose all of that. I just wish you got more so you could actually use it on your entire face, but I do think that it looks nice. Let's go to the face framers. So now it's saying to do the brows and to do mascara, but we didn't do the highlighter or the blush yet, so I'm gonna do those first. So I'm gonna use the 8th Muse Soft Pink Duo for both the highlighter and the blush, and then I'll use the other one another time. The Peach Duo does look very pretty. I probably should have done this before the bronzer, but I am just following what it says, so my bad. But let me just try it on top. I didn't put on much bronzer because there wasn't much to actually put on, So hopefully it's fine. Just gonna go in with my finger. See, like you get a good amount of the blush. And I just don't know why some products you get a lot of and then some you get like absolutely none of. Going over the powder perfectly fine. It's not as oily as the other cream products though, so it's a little bit more difficult to blend. It's more of like a whipped consistency, not really like an oil. It's not hard to blend though, it's just like harder than the other products, which is fine. I keep building it up a little bit. To me, this is very like summery and after a day at the pool or something, so I'm gonna go heavy with the blush. Not that I really need an excuse because I always really go heavy with the blush. Here's the blush. I have a little bit left over on my finger, so I'm just gonna tap it in to the eyelid because I didn't get any eye products. It's definitely more of a tacky texture than the other base products. Pretty, definitely pretty. It's just interesting how the blush is not as dewy as the concealer. You would think that the blush would maybe be dewier, but it's not. But let me go into the 8th Muse highlighter now, which is right here. And just tap that on the high points. Oh, pretty. I thought that this was gonna be too dark for me, but that's really, really pretty. It's more of that wet look. Who doesn't love that? I know I do. Kind of adds the dew back in from what the blush took away, but that is definitely very, very pretty. Let me put some on my nose. I don't even know that I need that much highlighter with how dewy I'm looking today, but can't deny that does look pretty. Oh yeah, okay. I definitely look super dewy, but again, in the wet look type of way, not the glitter type of way. Take some of the highlighter and put it on my lid, again, because I do not have any eyeshadow or eye products, so this will be my eyeshadow for today. That's not working very well. I don't know that I would recommend using this as eyeshadow. On the face it's beautiful, but I don't know about eyeshadow. Now that I look like a glimmering disco ball, now I'll go into step number 2, which is mascara and brows. So for the brows, I got this kit, which comes with a nice little spoolie. Let me hold these up. Taupe is definitely too light. I might go with soft brown. Honey blonde is too light, but I think auburn and everything after that is too dark. Should I go with soft brown? Yeah, I'm gonna go with soft brown. It's probably gonna be darker than I like, but I just don't really like brows. I guess I don't want to accept my hair color. You get a lot of brow product. Again, it's very interesting how they distributed some of these products. I'm gonna just put it on the back of my hand so I can evenly coat the brush. I'm just gonna brush this through. Okay, yeah, I think that is a really, really nice shade, and I personally don't like to do a whole brow situation. I feel like I don't really need it, and I don't like to draw too much attention to my brows anyways. I feel like they're already thick and dark. I don't need them to be thicker and darker. So yeah, I just really like to fill them in a little bit and then put something there to make sure that they stay in place. But I'm not looking for like a full type of brow look. So I think that's nice, but I think it's too much. Let me do this side, and I'm not gonna put any more product on the brush. This one definitely looks better. I don't dislike this product at all. I just don't think it's the type of formula that I like. I like more control, something a little bit less opaque, because again, I'm not super into a bold brow. If you are, I think this would be good actually, because you get a lot of pigment, but I just don't really like a lot of pigment. We're just gonna go like this. And now go in with the leftover product. Okay, much better. Much, much better. I think we learned a little bit goes a long way. You do not need that much. And I don't even think I put on that much, but you definitely don't need a lot. Mascara time. I do like the shape of this wand. It's one of those curved ones, which is usually good for volume and curling, obviously. So I do like that. This will be a first impressions, but I'll also have to let you know in a future video how it worked out, like throughout the day, just if it flaked or smudged or anything like that. It's giving me volume, it's giving me length, it's not clumpy, it is nice. I just like a really, really, really dramatic lash. It's not a bad mascara. It's definitely better than other clean ones I've tried, like the Ilia one is horrible. It's not horrible. It's a good mascara. I just also have tried better. There's the mascara. It's nice. It's not my favorite, but it is nice. Also, I'm noticing that the concealer is moving around a lot because it is so hydrating and there's a lot of moisture in there. Typically, I would go in and set it with a powder, but I'm not going to today because I really want to test out the concealer and see how long it lasts for and all that. But usually I would, just because I don't think this is going to last more than like an hour on me, but we'll see. I'm going to go in with the lip color now. So this is the Weightless Lip Color. And I'm just going to pick out a nice everyday shade because I don't have much going on the rest of my face. So let me see. What do I like the best? We're going to go with this one. It's like the most light nude type one. And again, you get a really good amount of product with a lip color. So it's just weird how they distributed some of the products. Like you can easily use this multiple times, like you have enough product to, whereas some things you didn't even have enough for one use. Okay, this is lighter than I was expecting. I'm gonna pick out a little bit of a darker shade. Just going with a little bit of Stardust, which is a little bit of a deeper color. Just add a little bit more pink. They're also not like super pigmented either. You can see I'm building it up, but it's not like opaque. Now let's go in with the oil. I'm gonna go with Neutral Bikini Nude because of course I am. And it's one of these smaller amounts. Okay, you really don't get anything in here. I don't know how I'm supposed to really test it out. We'll go with that one on the lower lip, but there's just nothing in here. On the top lip, let's go with Fruit Juice. Yeah, you can just see there's like not really anything in here to actually use. Like I would use a lot more gloss than this normally. All right, it's on, it's shiny. I don't think you get enough of these. I don't think you get enough product in here. Even when you combine multiple, there's just like nothing in there. I'm like digging with my finger and nothing is coming onto my finger. Don't love that one. Not that I don't love the product, I just don't like the amount of product and the packaging. Like I wish it came more like the lipstick did. The hair can come down now because we're done, and let me bring you through everything. First, the concealer. It's very, very dewy. It's a really interesting formula. I've never tried a formula like this before. I don't think it's bad. I just don't know yet because I feel like it's slipping and sliding around a lot, and I have something in my hair. It's just slipping and sliding around a lot, and that's not my favorite. Like if I'm gonna wear concealer, I want it to last. It is really pretty though, and my under eyes have never looked this smooth. It's not drying or cakey at all, which I appreciate. I would powder it in the future, but I didn't get any powder with the kit, so I really want to just show you what I got in the kit and not be adding other things. Foundation wise, I don't feel like I got enough of the oil to really tell you anything about the formula or any of the colors or anything. I feel like I found my shade match, but again, I didn't even get enough to put on a stripe on my face, so it's really not enough in my opinion. The mascara was nice, not my favorite, but nice. Brow product, pigmented. I don't see myself buying that in the future just because again I don't like a bold brow, but it is very pigmented. Bronzer, again, just not enough of it. It was actually really, really pretty though. Like I would be interested in testing this out all over my face in the future, but I just didn't get enough to get a gist of it really. Blush and highlighter, very pretty. The highlighter in particular, I really, really like. You get more of that wet look, so I would be interested in buying the highlighter. I don't know if you can buy it separately from the blush or if it's a duo and you have to get them together, but the blush is nice. It's just like nothing special to me in particular, but the highlighter is special. And then the two lip products, the lip color is fine. It's very comfortable, but I hate lip color typically. Like I just don't like the feeling on my lips. I feel like it bleeds everywhere. I probably wouldn't buy it. It is comfortable though. Like I'm not saying that it's uncomfortable or goopy or anything. I just feel like I don't need more lip products and it's not blowing me out of the water. And then the gloss, there's really just nothing in that sample for me to even say if I like it or not. I definitely would have to try that. It's just like nothing in that tester. I don't regret buying it because now I've been able to try a lot of their products and I know how I feel, at least on some of them. They're like definite no's that were maybes before, or some things that I would want to try again or be a little bit more interested in. So I definitely like the concept. I wish that they just gave you these types of samples for everything and not the peel cards like the lip glosses, because it's just not enough product. These little capsules are more than enough product. So I think they just need to work on that a little bit. You get that money back in a site credit. You're not buying samples, you're buying a product. You just are trying a bunch of things and then deciding on that one product, which I think is super, super helpful. And honestly, I don't know why more brands don't do this. This is a really, really great idea in my opinion. The only thing is you are then committing to buying that product and you only have a certain amount of time to buy it. I bought this in like mid-May and I have to buy something with my credit by May 30th to actually use the credit. After that, the credit goes away. You do kind of have to like make up your mind pretty quickly. Also, this kit was free shipping, but the site in general is $40 of free shipping, so you will have to end up spending at least $5 more. I don't think that they have anything for $5 though, so you might have to spend more than the $35 anyways if you want free shipping. Let me know if you've seen any brands that have this, because I would definitely want to try them out. Other than that, that is it for me today. Let me know down below if you'd like to see what I eventually end up picking. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.